Should people with terminal illnesses have the right to physician-assisted suicides? Physician-assisted suicides are legal in 5 states of this country. This option is given to patients approved by the state and court laws in Oregon, Vermont, Washington, Montana, and California. According to Wikipedia, PAS, as it is often referred to, involves a doctor knowingly and intentionally providing a person with the knowledge or means or both required to commit suicide, including counseling about lethal doses of drugs, prescribing those lethal drugs, or supplying the drugs. In my opinion, I do not support physician-assisted suicides due to my religious beliefs and my ethical beliefs. In addition, if superior palliative care was widely offered more, I don't believe that patients would necessarily choose PAS because they had an alternative. People should be given the right to live before they are given the right to die with assistance. First, I do not believe in PAS due to my religious and ethical beliefs, which these reasons are also listed as one of the top 10 pros and cons of PAS by writer Angela Ferguson. I believe that life is a gift from God that is given to us with His purpose, and committing suicide, whether it is physician-assisted or whether it is self-inflicted, is frowned upon by God, and that's my belief. A lot of people don't believe that, but I do. PAS imposes an opening for abuse, in my opinion, including times where doctors often misdiagnose patients, which is a reality and can happen, and as a matter of fact, it happens a lot. A lot of doctors do misdiagnose patients, and what if they would have chose PAS? Now their life is ended, when really that's not, the diagnosis that they had, that's not really what it was. According to an article from CNN, ethically, any doctor, nurse, or nurse practitioner cannot allow a person to die. It is an oath that they take as part of their medical practice that they cannot willingly and knowingly allow someone to just die. Secondly, terminal ill patients who have access to palliative care most likely would not choose PAS. Palliative care, which is also known to a lot of people as hospice, includes providing relief from the symptoms and stress of a serious illness. Their goal is to improve quality of life for the patient as well as their family. And that's one of the things I admire a lot about hospice, because it's not just about the patient, it includes care for their family as well. They're there for the patient, they're there for the family. And that's one of the best things about hospice. There are very few palliative care facilities offered. As a result, I think that if there were more offered around here, like in our local towns, that it could reduce the number of patients who choose PAS. PAS claims to be a decision to end the suffering for patients. However, palliative care was intended to ease the suffering during a patient's last days. Thirdly, people have a right to live and shouldn't be given the right to die with assistance. Patients who end up in the hospital on life support, or such as like near fatal accidents, or some often end up paralyzed, often say that they wish to die because of the pain they're in and the accident that has happened. But what if that was a misdiagnosis? Or what if they were, say, misdiagnosed with cancer and they're like, oh, I just want to end my life, I can't live like this. What if that was a misdiagnosis, and say years later, like if they live, the pain is gone, say they beat the cancer, what if they would have chosen the PAS? What if they would have ended their life? When really, if they would have went through the palliative care, if it wouldn't have been a misdiagnosis, they could have saved your life and lived. There have been many times when doctors have misdiagnosed, and as a result, if that patient would have chose the PAS, they could have lived. I think part of that, it decreases the value of human life. Life is very precious, and those who are unfortunately diagnosed with a terminal illness have the right to have their life, do not have the right to have their life ended by sickness. However, PAS, in my opinion, is not the best option. Although I've never been faced with this sort of decision, I know many that have. I believe that morally a physician should not be allowed to end someone's life. Palliative care is an alternative to PAS that can provide some quality to those who are terminally ill as well as their families.